Hi, welcome to Read 508, Unit 2, Week 1, Definition of Reading. So we're actually in Week 2 of the course, but this is the first week of Unit 2. So the good news is that this week is light on reading, but it is heavy on forum posting. So I'm going to take the next couple of slides to describe to you the assignment that you're going to work on all week, which is going to be essentially to create your own definition of reading. So this definition of reading is not only going to help you be a better teacher of reading, but you're going to be able to use it on your final assignment in this course, which is the position paper. You're also going to find that in some of the other classes you take, your professors will reference your definition of reading and may even require you to include it in other papers. And so that definition of reading that they talk about begins here in 508, and then as you take other classes, you add to it and really expand on how you conceptualize what reading is and what it means to be a reader. So the important thing to remember that as we create our definitions of reading, that everybody's definition doesn't need to be the same. And in fact, as you learn more in this class and you learn more throughout the course of your time in the certificate program or in the master's program here at Cal State Fullerton, you're going to know that learn that there are many definitions of reading out there and many ideas about what it means to be a reader. And so therefore, we're not trying to kind of funnel you into creating this one definition of reading. So I'd like you to keep that in your head as you go through this assignment. So there are a few things that you need to do in order to complete this assignment this week. So first, you're going to need to review the definition of reading assignment. You're going to see a link on our Titanium site for this week that says readings for this week. So this is a PDF, and this comes from an ancient Read 508 resource when we used to have this class in person only and we didn't have an online program. The course packet. So if you remember from your credential programs, you probably had these big, bulky course packets you had to buy for each of your classes that had all kinds of different, photocopied resources bound together. So of course we used to have one of those too, but as we've converted to an online program and we have modernized all of the resources we use, this is really one of the only things that you're still going to find that we use from that course packet. So most of the resources we have now are online. So I did, though, take this assignment from that old packet and scan it in. So that's why when you open it, you'll see a couple of the pages are a little bit crooked. Getting that big, bulky course packet underneath the top to the scanner to get it all in there could be difficult. But all the information you need is there. So I'm going to actually go over briefly all those assignments in this PowerPoint too. So there's 5 activities that encompass this definition of reading assignment. So for activities 1 and 2, the first thing you need to do is go into that PDF and read the first quote from that course packet entitled Developing a Working Definition of Reading. After you do that, you're going to be expected to compose a well-worded and thoughtful initial definition of reading based on your prior knowledge. So I don't want you to go online and Google definition of reading and pull some stuff off Wikipedia and pull some stuff off Reading Rocket. This is really based on your prior knowledge and your experience thus far, and then reading that quote. So think about in your definition or in your initial post, what is reading? What does it mean to be a reader? And how are children and sometimes adults taught to read? So by the end of the week, this week, you're going to have a revised, more informed, and perhaps more complex definition. So that's why I'm saying go ahead and read that quote, and then go ahead and write your own definition of reading. And don't go crazy, researching all these different things online, which students tend to do, especially in the first class, because you're going to be working on this and revising it throughout the week. So really based on what you know at this point. So you're going to post that definition on the forum. So this is where the class is a little bit different this week than usual. So what you're going to need to do is post this definition by midnight on Friday. You need to be able to do this to complete activity 3. So the way that points will be awarded for this class participation activity will be your initial post will get you activities 1 and 2 will each get you a point and having them done on time, and then you'll see activities 3, 4, and 5, you'll get a point for all of those pieces. So rather than just one forum post where you can get all 5 points, it will be split up amongst the different activities. So for this first one, you'll essentially get 2 points because I'm assuming that you're going to read the first quote, and then I will see that you've posted on time. So make sure that you post that definition by midnight on Friday. So then activity 3. So you're going to have to log back into the forum then after Friday. Of course, if you post before Friday, and then you go on and you see that other classmates have posted maybe on Wednesday or maybe on Thursday, you can, of course, continue with these assignments. You don't need to wait until Friday. You can just respond to the folks that posted early like you did. So these are just deadlines. So you're going to log back onto the forum and you're going to read some of your classmates' definitions. So just go ahead, click on a few of them and read through. Then from the ones that you've read, choose 2 classmates that you would like to respond to. In response, we'd like you to answer the question, on what points do you agree or disagree with their definition? So you will have until Saturday, midnight on Saturday, to respond to those 2 classmates. So of course you can read more than 2 definitions, and you could respond to more than 2, but you, as a minimum, need to respond to 2 classmates. So read what they wrote. Where do you agree? Maybe you find some common ground between your definition and your experience and what they posted. Perhaps there's something that you don't agree with, and go ahead and share that, remembering, of course, your tips for an etiquette. But remember, 2 classmates by midnight on Saturday. All right, then you can roll into activity 4. So as soon as you do that response piece, you're going to go back into that PDF, and so there are a couple of pages of quotes in that PDF under activity 4, and those are meant to really prompt some of your thinking about reading. They're all from prominent researchers and educators in the field of reading, and they reflect various points of view about what it means to be a reader, their philosophy of reading, and their definitions of reading. So read all of those quotes, and then there's some reflection questions given at the end of that quote section. So I'd like you to go ahead and to reflect on those quotes given at the end reflect on the questions given at the end of the quotes, and then what you're going to do from there. So you don't really have to post anything for activity 4, but it kind of rolls in. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. It rolls into activity 5. So what you're going to do is you're going to finalize your working definition of reading by posting a final comment to your original post by Monday at midnight, so our regular due date. So what needs to be in that post is first your response to the questions from activity 4. So you can put them, you're going to go back onto your original post and you're going to reply kind of to yourself as a comment. And so in that, you're going to first consider those questions that were at the end of the quotes for assignment 4. And you're going to talk about some of the reflection that you did in response to those. And then right underneath that, you can go ahead and finalize your revised working definition of reading. So you probably will go back to that original post and essentially edit it and put it into that comment. So please don't start a new entry on the forum. Please make sure that you go into your first post that you posted on Friday and that you just reply as a comment. This way, for me, it's much easier to read and see all of your thinking and posting for this entire assignment. All right, so that is the assignment for the week. Like I said, kind of light on the reading, but heavy on the forum posting. We usually don't have assignments that require you to post 3 or 4 times during the week, but this one does, and it's one of these assignments to start us off. And like I said, it's an important assignment. So just also wanted to remind you that you need to start thinking about who you're going to tutor for the tutoring assignment. So you remember, as described in the orientation and in your syllabus, that you need to be tutoring a student for 10 hours. That child should be between the ages of 4 through 8. We said, remember, an average emergent reader. So students in that age range are considered emergent readers still. The child can be, if you're a classroom teacher and you teach pre-K through second grade, can be one of your students. Otherwise, you can use your own child if you have a child between those age ranges, a neighbor's child, a friend's child, a relative, whatever. But start thinking about making that contact and lining that up, and you may even want to think about scheduling it. So, as advised last week, it's best to make sure that you can schedule those sessions, all 10 hours, between week 6 and week 9 of instruction. This way you have learned enough to make the most out of those, and then you can finish up before you need to have your final assignment. So remember, the tutoring assignment is broken up into 3 pieces. So if you can get everything done between week 6 and 9, it's really going to work out best for you, and you're really going to be able to make the most of the experience. So that is going to be it for week 2. Make sure that you go ahead and you poke through all the resources that we have. If you look in the course resources section, there is a link to the Purdue OWL site, and that is an APA resource. I had lots of questions about APA this week, although strict APA was not necessary for the literacy autobiography, but I guess I should have been more clear about that. It's interesting because that's usually an assignment that I do in my credential class for I can't even think. I teach secondary credential students a reading and the content areas class, and so what's interesting is that they never ask anything about APA because they're in the credential program and it's not even on their radar, and they didn't. So when I decided to add that assignment to 508 this year, I thought it was funny that everybody asked me about APA, and I said, oh, I never even thought about that. But in any case, if you pay attention to APA for that assignment, it's great. If you did not pay attention to APA for that assignment, it's okay. But if you would like to learn more, and you're going to need to learn more about using APA, I've put that link under the course resources section, and also recommended that you buy the APA Manual 6th edition. You're going to need it for every course in this program, and it's a requirement for Read 511. So unless they update it, which I don't really think they have plans because 6th edition was a pretty big update, you should be okay if you order that and get that as a resource now. So make sure you go back onto the site. Make sure you review the days that you need to post all of these assignments, and have a great week.